We're going to talk about a really famous love story, a heartbreaking one. It's one that shaped both art and Irish history. W.B. Yeats and Maud Gonne.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Imagine Dublin, 1889. Yeats, this young poet, he meets Gonne and he's just captivated.
He was completely smitten. Yeah, he even said she had this unique beauty, unlike anything he'd ever seen. A powerful first meeting.
And powerful it was. Yeats proposed to her multiple times,
At least 4 times that we know of.
and she always turned him down.
Always just a friend in her eyes.
Imagine that sting of rejection. She even said his poetry was fueled by his unhappiness.
That's a tough one. But she clearly recognized how strong his feelings were, but not in a romantic way. And that unrequited love, it became the defining element of their relationship. And of course, a huge inspiration for his poetry.
I think their personalities, their political views played a role in this too. They were both really passionate about Ireland, but had such different approaches. Yeats, the poet, channeled his nationalism through his art.
Right. And Gonne dove headfirst into the politics. She was a huge figure in the Irish nationalist movement. More radical, almost revolutionary.
Not really Yeats style.
No. And that difference in how they approached this shared cause, that probably built that chasm between what they each wanted.
Yeah. And then Gonne married John McBride in 1903. Staunch Irish nationalist.
Actively fighting for Irish independence, yep.
Devastating for Yeats, I imagine.
Absolutely. It crushed any hopes he might have had. And of course, that heartbreak. It poured into his poetry. No second Troy.
Right.
He compares Gonne to Helen of Troy, the woman whose beauty sparked conflict and destruction. He saw a parallel there.
Gonne's influence on the men around her and on the Irish political scene.
Exactly.
It's amazing how all of that, the unrequited love and their shared passion for Ireland, became such powerful art.
Yeah, it really shows his genius how he turned personal pain and political upheaval into art that still connects with people today.
More than a century later.
But their story doesn't end there. Gonne's marriage to McBride was short-lived and tragic, really.
Yeah.
They separated, and then McBride was executed for his role in the 1916 Easter Rising.
A pivotal moment in the fight for Irish independence.
It cemented Gonne's commitment to the cause, pushed her even deeper into politics.
Wow. And yet, even with their different paths, the heartbreak, Yeats and Gonne stayed connected.
Throughout their entire lives.
Which brings us to one of the most interesting parts of their story, how Gonne influenced his poetry. Think about some of Yeats's most famous poems. When you are old, he wishes for the clocks of heaven.
Even No Second Troy.
Yeah.
They all have this weight of his feelings for her, that longing, idealization, the pain, even admiration.
It wasn't just romantic love, though.
No. She represented something more, like a
Yeah.
symbol of Ireland itself.
Right. Her commitment to nationalism, her beauty, that fierce spirit, it all intertwined with his love for Ireland.
Absolutely.
It makes you wonder, how much of his success as a poet came from this impossible romance?
Hard to say for sure. But you could definitely argue that tension, that longing, it gave him so much to work with.
That depth of emotion.
Yeah, a real sense of yearning. And it wasn't just the romance. Their shared passion for Ireland, their intellectual back and forth, their connection, it all played a part.
Even without that romantic bond.
Exactly. It was unconventional, their relationship, but definitely inspiring for him. He saw his hopes and dreams for Ireland reflected in her. That spirit of the nation.
That he wanted so badly to see free.
Yes.
Even after Yeats died.
In 1939.
Gonne was still shaping his legacy.
It was Gonne, and her son, Sean McBride, who made sure his final wish came true.
To be buried in Drumcliff.
County Sligo, among those rolling hills of Ireland.
Such a poignant final act. After all those years, it really shows the respect and care they had for each other.
It speaks to how strong their connection was, something beyond romantic love.
That really left a mark.
On both their lives, on Irish literature.
And history.
It's a story that keeps fascinating us because it shows how complex human connection can be, challenges how we think about love, ambition, artistic inspiration.
Reminds us that some of the most powerful relationships don't fit into neat boxes.
Right.
Let me see, think. Could they have ever really been happy together? Or was it just destined to be unfulfilled?
With all those complexities.
Like contradictions.
Yeah. It's that question, isn't it? What if? What might have been? That's the beauty of it. Their story, bittersweet as it is, it still inspires, makes us think, just like his poetry.
It moves people.
All over the world.
It's a reminder that even when love is unrequited, paths diverge. A meaningful connection can still endure.
and shape
It's
lives.
vampire art. Leave a legacy.
If this has piqued your interest and you want to, dig a little deeper, I really recommend reading Yeats' poetry.
Oh, yeah.
You'll find this world of longing, beauty, and echoes of this incredible connection.
And to discover more stories like this one, just subscribe to our newsletter.
We've got plenty more waiting for you.
It's amazing, isn't it? A love story from so long ago, and it still feels so relevant.
It really is. I think it's those universal themes,
Love.
longing, trying to figure out what it all means.
It connects us all, right?
Yeah, their story, it goes beyond just time and place. It shows us that love, even when it's unrequited, it can be such a powerful force,
Lives.
inspire art. And when we look at their story, we understand their own journeys better.
And that whole period of Irish history,
Exactly.
it's like a reminder. History isn't just big events in politics.
It's people's lives, too.
People who lived through it all.
Shape those movements.
And if you want to keep exploring those connections between history, art, and people, well, you know what to do.
Subscribe to our newsletter.
We'll have more stories.
Hidden connections.
The whole complicated human experience.
Until next time.
Keep those minds curious.
And those hearts open.
There's always something new to discover.